All right, welcome everyone to Growth School. It's an amazing and a special edition of Growth School tonight. It's an amazing and awesome edition of Growth School tonight. And this moment on Growth School, I will be sharing with you on something that has to do with mental health, mental stability, mental growth, and we will be treating the ancient secret of staying happy and overcoming worry. The ancient secret of staying happy, not just being happy temporarily, but of staying happy and overcoming worry. I understand right now. I shared on my Facebook community, on Good Community, today, on a particular instance, like considering a young lady called Titi, who is a fresh graduate who just finished from school, and she struggled with trying to get a job and she could not, and for that reason she became so bothered, she became so worried, she became like, oh, how what would she do, how would she go about it, and for that reason she became really battered, and it was appearing almost like a depression, because a consistency on a displeasing thought will lead into a depression. And just as she was scrolling through, just looking through her WhatsApp status, she saw a picture of her friend, called, say, Precious, and Precious posted how she attended an interview and um, got selected as part of the individuals to join a top IT firm in the island in Lagos, Nigeria. And that felt like, but I finished with a 2-1. Precious finished with a third class. How come Precious got a job and I'm still struggling to get one? Why don't I have that opportunity to get one? And Precious became really, not Precious, Titi became really burdened and all of that. And while she was battling with all of that, she scrolled through and she went through their groups. They have WhatsApp group for, like, when you were in school and probably you graduated, you maintained that group, and news always came in on who was getting married, who traveled out, who did all of that. And she just looked into the group and saw the wedding invitation of Sade. Really? And Sade seemed to be one of those nightlife babes on campus. And with all of that, Shade now got married, and this is Titi still not married. And this got Titi crying, considering the fact that Shade was always the high baby. She was the one that gave every guy a look, and she had couples of boyfriends. Why? Because she was one of those really beautiful girl. And this is Titi, who always said no to every guy. She shunned every guy, and because she wanted to stay focused on doing well in school. And this made her really cry and felt like, I hope the world was not all down on her. I hope it's not like there is not so much trouble. Is it still possible that she could make it? And the issue right now is, you may even be in that situation that you have matters getting you worried. Probably in your workplace, you get worried. Why? Because of the way the work is, the way you are being treated, the way you're treated by your boss, the way things look like. You get so worried. And probably maybe you live in a nation where you look at everything in the circumstance, you look at all of the policies, the reactions of those in parliament, those in government, you look at everything in the economy, does not so seem really like it's going to be possible to really make anything out. And you become so worried, you become so bothered, you begin to look like, what's the way out? And you just kept on thinking consistently on all of those things, and you don't even know what to do. And that is exactly why we're treating this topic in this growth school, on the ancient secrets to staying happy and overcoming worry. I remember at a point in my life where I had friends who were together, we were running certain programs together, and I discovered that, like, these two friends I could see were making progress. They got opportunities into bigger organizations, and they were moving on and doing a lot of things. And I started thinking, could it be like I should leave this career path I'm pursuing and just follow their own step. Why? Because everything they got appeared like greater. It was like a great achievement. It was like more money. They were going to have more money than myself and all of that. And I felt, what could I do? And I started thinking. I got really worried. I got really bothered to the point that it was always appearing like a depression. I wake up every morning with so much of headache because of this kind of worry. And I really want to help you right now. If you're at the point where you understand that you worry a lot, you get bothered a lot, you do not get to be so productive, you do not get to achieve so much of result, you do not get to have that escape velocity position, you do not get to see things change, all right, in the great run for you, and you want to know how to stay happy and stop being worried. You want to know how to stay happy and stop being worried. So I'll be sharing a lot of things with you, and I would really want you to pay a lot of attention because I have a lot that I've been written down here, and I'm just trying to see how we could spend a very short time to treat them in this growth school, and then possibly you would ask your questions and I would do well to answer them. Now, I want you to understand that our world today has a lot of things that could really get you worried. Okay, if you're someone who listens to the radio, you go to the radio, and every time you try to just listen to the news, there's always something that gets you really worried and bothered. It could be the news of an event that happened, events of some a kidnapping, event of a war happening somewhere, event of people being killed, and you find out that this really gets to you. Or maybe you go to the social media, and every time you just read the news of something chaotic, something painful, something that makes you really bothered about life, and you cannot just imagine how to deal with it. And you look at even the statistics being given about your nation, of the number of people who graduate from school, the number of people who seem to be unemployed eventually, the number of people who are so eager of probably relocating, the number of reasons why people say things are going wrong, and all of those news really get at you. You must understand that the systems are really created to weaken the weak, all right, to weaken the weak, and then to bring the weakness of heart and weakness of eagerness to achieve something great, okay, in the hearts of those who really have ambition. You can imagine how somebody, probably when the person was young, in their 12, in their 13, 14, 15 years of age, they had so much of ambition. I'm going to accomplish this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to accomplish all of those things. I'll become great, I'll become a doctor, I'll become a lawyer. You remember when you were young and they asked you all those kind of questions, and out of your childishness and out of not figuring out the things in between, you just made certain statements that I will be this, I will become this. And you now find out that when you come to a point when you begin to understand the reality of the things that are going on, it brings you into becoming worried and almost weak to pursue your ambition. And you must understand that there are certain conspiracies that are created that that are created to weaken and to kill, all right, great ambition in a lot of people. And the lesser the people who are ambitious, okay, the lesser the number of people that can compete for the great opportunities that are available. So you should understand that there's a possibility of so much of news, so much of information that would seem to weaken you and that would seem to get you worried. All right. Now, number two thing I want you to take note is that no matter how high, how well positioned, how much of achievement you've gotten, how much of promotion you've gotten, how much of the things that you seem to have accomplished, there is always a possibility of getting worried about something. Okay, there's always a possibility of getting worried about something. And if you don't understand the system of identifying that this is a point of worry and how to overcome it to bring yourself to a state of happiness, you find out that you become defeated by the worry situations. If you do not identify the points where where there is a particular point of worry, where there is worry in your life, and the system to overcome them and bring yourself to a state of happiness, you may become defeated by the worry situation. So, irrespective of the things that you know, irrespective of how well you're positioned, irrespective of how well you seem to have become, irrespective of what you have achieved, people who graduate, people who are trying to make decisions between career paths, people who are trying to make decisions as regards their relationship life, their marital life, their financial decisions, they get worried. So, irrespective of where you are, there's a likely chance of worry coming in. And the only thing that would seem to give you the victory, all right, the starting point of becoming or becoming a conqueror, or becoming victorious, or receiving dominion over worry starts with a point of light. And light here has to do with knowledge. All right, have you seen people where when you tell them a particular instruction and they be like, ah, now I see, that's because light has come. All right, and you must know that light is the solution to overcoming every darkness. And worry is like a dark state that keeps you not to be able to see the real thing and gives you a vague mirage. It gives you a vague and it gives you a mirage of what the of it gives you a mirage against the real thing. Okay, it creates vagueness and gives you a mirage against the real thing. So when light seems to come, when knowledge seems to come, when you begin to receive clarity, you get to the point where you can create the right solution, and then you can begin to get your life transformed. So happiness does not come. You see a lot of people that they get into worry situation and they go into things like drinking alcohol, smoking, trying to engage in a lot of sexual immorality. They make up bad friends. They go into just taking temporary time to just entertain themselves. But at the end of the day, that worry does not really go. Why? Because that's not the real pill. That's not the real solution to overcoming that worry in your life. That's not the solution to overcoming that worry in your life. All right. Now let me read as I wrote down here. The third thing is man's belief system is what sponsors his state of worry or victory. Okay, man's belief system is what sponsors his state of worry or victory. This is the point. I want you to get me clearly now. If you have held on to a particular belief system over time, when you listen to a certain news, when you listen to a certain news, or you see a certain news, or you confront certain circumstances, it will end up transitioning into the state with which you will choose to respond to those circumstances. For example, someone who holds on to a belief system, probably because of the news or what have always been said over time, that when you are not born from a wealthy home, you cannot end up becoming so wealthy. When that person is confronted with something that sponsors that belief system, his state will keep him in a point of poverty. Do you see right now? So the belief system transitions into your state when circumstances begin to come in. And when situations begin to come in, you either worry or you are victorious over them. So the first thing you need to realize is that when your belief system is not correct, you will respond to the wrong you will respond to every circumstances with that particular state that is bettered from your belief system. So when you want to change your state, when circumstances confront you, the first thing you need to do is to work on your belief system. If a man's belief systems can be changed, all right, if a man's belief system can be changed, it will be delivered from the jail of worry. All right. If a wrong belief system can be changed, that man will be delivered from the jail of worry. I want you to know that worry is like a jail, is like a cell, is like a prison that blindfolds your eyes from seeing everything happening outside that prison. Okay, you are worried about the fact that, oh, the government are not doing well, oh, the situations are so bad, oh, things are not going on so well. But you do not realize that when you can open your eyes to see the real things happening, you will stop being worried. You will stop getting worried about the circumstances. And you know what happens? You become victorious, and then you begin to get the real results that your life can really get. Now, I would paint an instance. Jesus said something in Luke chapter 6, and this was a lifesaver for me. Lifesaver for me during that period I told you about, where I was almost appearing depressed and situations were looking so real, so critical for me. Luke chapter 6, where Jesus said, take no thought. He said, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat, what you shall drink, what you shall put on. For your heavenly Father knows that you have need of these things. Okay, he said, look at the birds in the air. They do not strive, they do not struggle, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. But the first thing is, he said, take no thought, which means that it has to do with the thoughts that you choose to take that leads into a point of worry. The thoughts that you choose to take. So it's like the world is giving you this thought, is giving you this thought, is giving you this thought, is giving you this thought. So you now have to be selective of which of these thoughts that you take. That's why it says take no thought. You need to make up your mind not to take the thoughts that will sponsor worry into your life. So what do? You take no thought. You take no thought. So amidst every information that flies around, you need to be selective about which one you take. There would always be someone that would come and tell you, there's now that point of, I know you must have heard the statement, pepper them, all right? So you would get to the point where you begin to get a lot of things that pepper you. It's now your decision to choose what you take out of it. Some people may be sincere, just trying to show you their lifestyle, show you how well they're doing, and while you are going through Instagram and all of this, instead of you to take inspiration, you take oppression. Instead of you to take inspiration from them, what do? You take being oppressed. So you should decide on what exactly you take out of every information that comes to you. You need to choose what to take out of every news that you look at. You need to choose what to take from everything that you watch. So the diverse information that are available everywhere have a way of sponsoring, have a way of adding, have a way of making you becoming worried and oppressed. So what do? You choose what you take. So take no thought for yourself, what you shall eat, what you shall drink, what you shall wear, what you shall put on. So you should be selective on what you take. So information is flying everywhere, it's going to diverse places. That's why you must be selective of what you listen to. You must be selective of what you see. You must be selective of who are your instructors. The instructors who keep you at a point of, you get so obsessed to the point that your obsession gets you weighed down and worried. So what do? Take no thought. Worry does not start from the external, even if the source is external, but it begins from the internal. So you must select what you take. It's like a buffet. All right, there's a massive buffet of information. So the fact that all of those meals are available in the buffet does not mean you have to take all of them and eat, else you may end up in constipation. So the buffet is there, it's free, it's available, a lot of free information everywhere, but take no worry thoughts, take no weakening thoughts, take no wiseless thoughts. You must be selective on what you take. Now, what are the things that sponsors worry? What are the things that sponsors worry? I hope you're writing. Number one, what you see, what you see, the things you look at, the movies you watch, all right, the people you look at on Instagram, all right, the pictures you consistently feed your heart with on your WhatsApp status. What you see. Okay, have you been to an instance where you see people fighting and you can see blood beginning to drip? By the time you step out of that place, it does not leave you the same person before you went there. So you should watch what you see. Watch what you see. It's not like you understand, you watch a lot of things that are brutality and you see all of those things and you feel like nothing's going wrong. The moment you want to begin to take certain positive and crucial decisions, you wonder how those things begins to disrupt your thought, and at the end you become worried. Number two, what you hear, the music you listen to, the conversations you keep yourself around, the people that try to gossip about things to you, like someone comes to you, is telling you, did you hear what this, did you hear what the government just said about this? Oh, did you hear that this is, oh, watch what you hear. Number three, watch what you think. What you see, what you hear, what you think. What do you think? Diverse times when your meditation becomes when you find out that you meditate probably unconsciously on things that pull you down, that break you, all right, that does not encourage you, that does not inspire you, you need to disrupt that thought with something positive. You then feed your mind with something that is positive. Number four, what you believe. I talked about belief system. Number five, where you go. Where you go can add worry to you. If you are the kind of person that you know you cannot deal, all right, maybe while you're still single, you cannot deal with seeing someone younger than you or someone who is your mate get married, it always gets you thinking and worried. Stay in your lane. It's better you don't go. It's better you don't get yourself affected or you take decisions eventually. When you have built the emotional and mental strength to then attend, then you can begin to go. Okay, or you always get worried when you attend weddings or you go for events or you go for meetups or you go for, how do I put it, you go for reunion, and by the time you go there, you already, you're feeling like, hey, this reunion, hey, this, and you go to a place and you always get worried when people ask you, how far, when are you getting married, how far, when are you getting married, how far, when are you getting married, or people always asking me, what are you doing now, 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 what are you doing, and at that point probably you are not doing something that you can confidently tell people you're doing, or you cannot confidently speak about the things that you do, and it gets you a lot of times worry. It's better you don't go. It's better you don't go. Build up yourself, all right, develop yourself to a point where you can confidently tell people what you do. Okay, now the last thing is also what you say. What you say can get to the point of sponsoring worry in your life. All right, the things that you say consistently. If you keep saying, "Oh, this nation is not this. My family is not this. You keep saying you're not good enough. You keep saying you're not wise enough." No, the things you say will keep adding, will keep depositing, will keep creating worry in your life. Okay, now what are those ancient secrets to overcome worry? Number one is to dump worry thoughts, is to dump your worry thoughts. Somehow it was dumped into your life. So you took those thoughts. What do you have to do? You dump them. Okay? You dump them. The things you don't need, what you do? You dump them. So you pick them up as, let me look at my wardrobe. All right. I'm seeing certain clothes that no longer fit or should no longer be represented with me. Hmm. They make me think about the past me that I should not deal with. What do? You pick them out, all right? Out. Okay? Put them out. Put them out. So you could sit down and you could imagine, just like this thing was dropped here. All right, this should not be here. What do? You take it out, dump it. Okay, so you should bring out those thoughts. You dump those thoughts out. You see them, you picture those evil thoughts coming out of you and then being dumped out. So you dump those thoughts. You dump those thoughts. You take time, create an imagination within you, and see those things like a script that is folded, brought out of your mind. All right, and then they are dumped. So you dump those thoughts. You you take them out. You take them out of your mind. Now, number two, what do? You must be filled with gratitude. Remember, I shared this in the last growth school, which I did last week. You need to become grateful. When you see Shade is getting married, oh, thank you, thank you for Shade. Thank you because I know mine is also coming. You know what you're doing? You abate every attempt of worry into your life. You abate every attempt of worry into your life. You understand? So you practice gratitude. You wake up every morning. I'm grateful because I'm alive. I'm grateful because my ambitions are going to be accomplished. I'm grateful because I'm going to make so much of impact. I'm grateful because today is going to be a bright day for me. I'm grateful because I know I am intelligent. I'm grateful because I know I am wise. I'm grateful because I know I have sense. I'm grateful because I know my opportunities, I will access them. I'm grateful because today I'm preparing myself for greater grounds. I'm grateful today because I respond with positivity to every situation that confronts me. I'm grateful today because I'm going to make so much difference. I'm grateful today because I'm making so much impact to lives. I'm grateful today because I'm taking the right intention for my life. I'm grateful today because I'm standing. I'm grateful because I can move. I'm grateful because I will make progress. You practice gratitude. All right, you practice gratitude every day, every moment, at every point. You came across maybe you came across certain news, and I should advise you, you necessarily don't need to know everything going on. Okay, and if you really want to get the news, you need to be selective of what platforms you go to. I don't want to mention any platform. You just need to be selective. If there are platforms that when you go to them, you always get bad news, and when you come out from them, you feel very, very bad. Don't go to them. Look for a superior alternative. All right? Look for a superior alternative. Practice gratitude. Number three, speak positive words over your day and over every circumstance. Speak positive words over your day and over every circumstance. Remember, the Bible says something in Genesis chapter 1. In the beginning, God created heaven and the earth was without form. All right? It was formless, shapeless. You cannot be glad of it. It was not in a good form. And the next thing was, and God said, let there be light. Remember, Bible also said God created us in his own image, which means he created us as creators. All right, he created us to also be creators, creators of the things that happen in our life, creators of the things that happen in our environment, creators of the things that happen in our territory, creators of the God did not build a house, but he created the elements for the sand, for the cement, all right, for the iron bar, for the aluminium, for everything. Man created it. All right. Have you ever asked who gave man the idea to be of building a mansion? Who gave man the idea of the architectural building of a mansion? It means we are creators. We are created to actually be creators. Okay, through the words of your mouth, things are being created. Through the words of your mouth, there is something happening in the territory. Let me give a story that happened in the Bible. I think this was in Samaria. Yeah, I think this was in Samaria. And there was famine in the land because there was no rain. Elijah declared that There would not be rain, and for 3.5 years there was no rain, and the people were in so much famine that it got to the point where a particular woman and another woman agreed that they were going to slaughter their own children. Ah, I don't know if I should have shared this. So there was so much famine, and all of that happened, and the king, two women came to report to the king, and so much happened, and the king became angry, and Elijah came and told the king that by this time tomorrow, a measure of wheat and a measure of barley will be sold for this and this and this. And one man just came out, instead of him to have kept quiet, he just rose up and said, even if God opened the windows of heaven, that can these things be? It looked like a question, but the prophet discerned unbelief and said, you would see it, you will hear about it, but you will not taste part of it. And eventually, the following day, events happened. Something just happened. Certain lepers were out of the country, because in those times, lepers were not allowed to live amidst the people. They were put away. So by their being put away, the Syrian army that have gone to a particular land, they've gotten victory, they took all of the spoils, and they had a noise as though war was coming, and they felt, oh, probably the king of Israel has gathered people and they want to now fight against us, and they left everything, left part of their horses, and they ran away. And those lepers now went to that place. They were moved, they went to that place, and they just said to themselves, if we go to the city, they would kill us. If we go to where those armies are, they will kill us. So they just tried their luck. It's better for us to go to where there is food. So if they kill us there, better. So eventually they went to the place, they ate part of the food, and they felt like, this is unfair. How can there be famine in the land and we are here just enjoying and lavishing in so much of enjoyment? Then they now brought the news to the city brought it to the king, and the king sacked out. Now, what am I trying to bring out here? And exactly as the prophet said, that this measure of wheat and this measure of barley will be sold for this amount or this amount of talents and all of that, and it was so. Okay, what am I trying to bring out of this? Event was created by the words of mouth. Okay, circumstances was made to be by the words of mouth. The problem is, a lot of times as individuals, we even seem to say you know God, you do not fully utilize the power available to you as a man, because God created you to be a creator. Creator through the words of your mouth, creator through your brain, creator through your spirit man, creator through your hands, okay, through your skills, through your gifts. God created man to be creators. He created us in his own image. So the words of your mouth is a way to conquer worry. When you begin to find out that worry is coming, what do you do? I refuse to worry. I reject worry. I send worry far away from me. All right? You speak the words to overcome circumstances. Number 4, avoid situations that may cause worry, all right, by being prepared and responsible. A lot of times, the reason why people get worried is because they don't prepare appropriately. When you are given a project, take out time to prepare. When you have an examination to write, take out time to prepare. When you have an interview for a job, take out time to prepare. When you have to carry out a certain task, take out time to prepare. When people don't prepare, they have a lot of logs of tasks not done. And when the works now choke up because they have procrastinated a lot of things, they now get worried on how to overcome and how to meet deadline. So preparation is a strategy to overcome worry. You prepare for your future, the kind of future you want. Are you prepared for it? You talk about, I want to make so much money. Do you even have the skill? And that's the reason why, that's the reason why you will see a friend of yours that you finish school together making so much, and this guy has been preparing. Maybe while the guy was in school, while he was reading and doing all of those things, you thought he was only reading. The guy was silently practicing coding, practicing software development, practicing Facebook ad, practicing how to sell online, practicing how to design, practicing content development. And while he was doing all of that, he was already interning for an organization. You can't expect for a guy, for a young person who has made so much of that preparation, and you who never prepared, to be at the same level. So if you want to overcome worry, maybe you're listening to me right now, you're a student in school, or maybe you're a core member and you're thinking you're going to finish very soon. Advise you, one thing you have to do is get yourself prepared for the future you're going into. All right. Any craft at all requires appropriate preparation. The problem sometimes is we have this, oh, I declare, I profess, they have said upon my life. Listen, I agree with a lot of spiritual things, but never wait for God to do for you what He expects you to do for yourself. God does not prepare for any man. Man is the one that makes the preparation. All right? Because the Bible says, even the Bible says something, it said the preparation of the heart is of man, but the performance, the bringing it to pass, is of God. And that's why he said that it's not of him that willeth, or of he that runneth, but of God that showeth mercy. But man has to be prepared. God will not buy the ass for you. God will not buy he will not buy the ass for you. Okay? But there is a preparation that can bring that ass, that can bring what you would use to run, that will bring what you need to war. You get what I'm saying? So you must understand that preparation is a way to overcome worry. Okay? Now, number five secret is stay away from negative people, stay away from negative conversations. Stay away from negative people, stay away from negative conversation. Some of you right now, you're listening to me, and virtually the higher percentage of the friends that you have are people who are always telling you bad news. They never come to give you good news. They are always telling you bad news. It's bad news about this one, bad news about that one, bad news about this. And those are your friends. No vex. Tell them not to vex. That you are not doing again. Okay? You may not tell them vocally, but let your actions tell that you are no longer interested in their bad news. The more content that fits into your mind will determine the kind of person that you will be. When you feed yourself so much, when you allow yourself to be fed with negative meal, you will end up acting negative, thinking negative, walking negative, reacting negatively to circumstances. So if you want to overcome worry, avoid negative people. The people who are always telling you, see the way you look like, you are too fat. You are too slim. Hey, will anyone marry you? Hey, look at your face. Hey, is there any way for you? Hey, see what you finish with. Avoid negative people. They may be nice, but negativity, you need to be, what's the statement? You must be, you must just hate negativity. Okay? Hate negativity. Hate negativity. Hate it. Then, lastly, number six. Let me stop at number six, even if I still have here, but I'll just stop at number six for time's sake. Practice peaceful living. Practice peaceful living. Practice peaceful living. Practice peaceful living. As much as possible, always try to avoid conflict. Always try to avoid conflict. It may happen, but find a way to bring it into a point where it gives you peace. All right? Always practice peaceful living. Get to the point where when people want to begin to cause anchor with you, oh, I'm very sorry. I apologize and walk away. Too much of odds, too much of fighting with this, angry with this, having malice with this, not happy with this, will get you worried. If you can know, even the Bible says something, Hebrews 12:14 says, follow peace with all men. Paul the apostle is wise. He knows that if you want to be really productive, if you want to really get to the point where you're impactful, one thing you must know how to do is to follow peace with all men. Follow peace with all men. Practice peaceful living. So get to the point where you have peace with everyone. I will not guarantee you, because in this point of growing impact, growing influence, trying to transform life, and we grow a lot of influence, we grow a lot of impact. Some people will look at you and say, who be that guy self? Waiting they talk. They will look at you and be like, this guy is too young now. How come he's doing all of this? Notwithstanding, still meet those people and smile and say, well done, man. Well done, sir. I celebrate you, sir. You are an amazing individual. Don't let what they have said get into you. You practice peace with all men. That's the instruction. That's the law. It's wisdom. If you know how to live in peace, how to avoid conflict and rancor, oh man, you will live long. You will probably live long. You'll probably live long. Because everyone who wants to create conflict with you, what they are really trying to say is, I'm already in conflict. I'm only looking for somebody who will go into conflict with me. And you don't want their stain. You don't want their conflict to stain you. So what do? Practice peace. All right? Practice peace. Irrespective of every situation, always look for a way to let it end in peace. All right. Yeah, there's a conversation and they want to begin to build some argument. Oh, I'm very sorry. You can hold on to your beliefs, hold on to your convictions, and not cause conflict without having to fight, without having to quarrel. Because the truth is, the start of every conflict is what you know, but you can never tell the end. So practice peaceful living. Because when you have so much of conflict, you will get so worried. It's a way to be worried. Practice peaceful living and practice forgiveness. Practice forgiveness. Practice forgiveness. The reason why some of you are stationed, you're stagnant at one point right now, is because you have chosen not to forgive what somebody did to you. One uncle, one brother, one elderly person, one auntie, one guy while you're in campus, somebody, and you kept it in the database of your mind, is the reason why you keep getting worried. Is the reason why you can't find peace and happiness. Practice peaceful living and practice forgiveness always. Remember, Bible did not say forgive your neighbor 7 times. If you've already 7 times, deal with him and don't forgive him. It says 70 times 7 times. And like a couple of Bible scholars have said, he said that 70 times 7 times, it has to be per day. So it will take foolishness for somebody to offend you 490 times. All right, it takes foolishness for somebody to offend you 490 times. So what do? Practice peaceful living and practice forgiveness. So I'll take the points again. How to overcome worry. Number one, dump worry thoughts. Number two, be filled with gratitude every day. Number four, speak positive words over your day and over every circumstances. Number four, that's number three. Number four, avoid situations that may cause worry by living prepared and responsible. Number five, stay away from negative people and conversation. And number six, practice peaceful living and forgiveness. All right, did you get value from good school? Did you get value? Did you get value? Did you get value? If you got value, can I see you give me clap? Can I see you give me a clap? Got value? Did you get value? Did you got value? I got value. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Please, do you have questions? Let me see your questions. Let me see your questions. Can you drop your questions in the comment section? Drop your questions. Let me see them and let me try to answer them. Let me try to answer them. Drop your questions. Drop your questions. Drop your questions. All right, where are your questions? Where are your questions? Where are your questions? Where are your questions? All right, all right, all right. So this is what we'll do. This is what we'll do. If you have questions, trying, trying, amazing, 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 amazing. All right, all right. So you could still drop your questions after now. I'll leave this replay in the YouTube channel, so you could do well to rewatch, share the link with friends, and the world is filled with so much of worry already. And I know you really want to help people to stop getting worried, and you want to see people happy. Those around you, you want to see them happy. So share the link with them. And please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, big or no, please hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. Go to the button down and just subscribe. Thank you so much, and I celebrate you. Always make sure that you add value always to yourself and you keep making exceptional impact. I remain Abiodun Mustafa. I'm out of here. Peace.